Hello everyone, welcome back. Immediately here, hello full. Yes, I was expecting you to be right on time. Sure everything's okay, that window's working fine. So yes, welcome back. Today we will be picking up where we left off with Briar doing the colouring and the shading, hopefully. Yeah, you did say that you would be. Alright then, so I guess we'll get straight into the art. Today I have a headache once again. I may have to start making it part of my branding at this rate. Get a decently dark tone. And color. You can tell I've been working on my own stuff because the current brush size is in the 300s. No, that's what's going on. Oh no, that's because I had the blur tool. Okay, that's close to it. A little bit darker. Then we'll start on the bodysuit. Yeah, my sleep has not been the best recently. And then I nap to try and fix it, and this happens. But I should be fine to be getting on with this today. Just take my time and work through it. How's my audio sounding, by the way? I should be a lot clearer now. Though you probably can also hear birds every time I talk. I have equipped a choir of starlings to amplify my voice. Also, it is raining where I am about time. I would love some rain at the moment. It's been another clammy day, so I'm going into this quite sticky and quite clammy, and it's not pleasant. Got the windows open and everything, but that invites flies in. That black was leaving the leaving the map. And I was hoping that I would be able to start on hoping to finish Briar today and then start on someone else, as I do have more to do, but I may have to settle with just finishing Briar today, given the head situation. Strange how it aches even after a nap. So I've been learning more and more about how to handle digital art recently, and the whole process of streaming. I was very helpfully informed on my audio the other day. Oh, uh, no, I'm going to allow that one. Automod getting zealous again. It decided that that message of yours was thirsty for some reason. I'm sure for someone it was, but oh, it's already started. It's already started. Dom Musa is sending me fish again. I wonder if he's lurking. Should probably consider getting some human mods. I don't exactly have many regulars. I have Nightbot set up. It's just the auto mod is the Twitch thing. So you need to faff around with that regardless of what you do. But yeah, I don't really have enough regulars who I think would be great for it. Oh man, people people leapt out of there. Don, hey Don, hey Demi. Uh, I could tell Don was here because I was already getting fish gifts to distract me from the task ahead. The task ahead being thighs, which means it's quite hard to distract me. Yeah, I suppose. Suppose I have a couple of semi-regulars. I'll give it some thought after the stream. It's not as though I have this this massive following or anything that is in desperate need of moderation, and I'm not currently in a game or something that requires all my attention, so I can afford to be handling it myself. Not yet reached the automation stage of Factorio. Oh, I can hear the flies buzzing again. There is one that for some reason is attracted to my light. Mods are useful though. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. It's just that I don't have substantial need for them just yet. 1 second, gonna take a swing at this. Oh, I think I got the fly that time. As one of the Fae, I'm aware that all nature must be precious, but for flies I will make an exception. Make Dizzy or Bloom? Bloom seems to be the one who's had the worst time of getting caught up in other schemes, so that might make sense. Could always get an archer fish. They can shoot down flies. Like with a bow or? Ah yes, fish gun. Fish gun. Gun with a fish. Yeah, I figured it was that they spit water. I may be look, I may be from the Isles, but that does not mean that that does not mean I'm an idiot. We British people do have some brains on our shoulders. And I don't always think with my thighs. Oh, that's tiny little bit of white somehow snuck into the line out. Oh, and that was me drawing on it. Some. Yes, some. Like I said, I don't always think with my thighs, but I do some of the time. It helps make up for the brain farts. Like I, oh god, here we go. I should have thought of this. What on? Are any of the others like? Oh no, oh no, folks, there's a problem. Yep. Let's resolve this before I go any further. I know what I should do. So, okay, that cleared some of it, less than I expected it to, though. So those were a fun plant to find. Yeah, they look quite neat. Had some. Like they're not. They definitely don't look like they should exist, but they do. And oh dear. Don't ambushing me with Guilty Gear videos. He's sending me fish. Like, and I assume that ping I just heard was the sound of another fish gif arriving. God, there's going to be some spottiness with these. This is very silly. Booty gif this one is probably thirsty for chat, but hmm. Oh no. Oh no. He sent he started sending he started sending me Guilty Gear as well. Anchors away. Look, I'm trying to cultivate an image of Big Titty Fairy. I stop sending me fish. Or don't stop. I guess you're I'm not your pet. I'm not your mother. Oh, that's the tail, right? Mm. Despite losing a small army of adopted children, well, I may have a lot, but none of them are currently you, as far as I'm aware. Let's see, I like May. Guilty Gear has top designs and she's cute. Same with 99% of the cast, but I only got casual interest since story mode in the new one is just a movie. That's a fighting games thing. I enjoy just things other people might not enjoy, like zombies and insect aesthetics. I mean, if if the current zeitgeist is anything to go by, zombies are still pretty popular, and I do know a few people with bug aesthetics. Yeah, yeah, I have some big butterfly wings. I also have moth and dragonfly ones, but I haven't shown them on stream yet. Just don't have them all out at once. A little bit of spare line out there that didn't get removed. I just don't care for zombies, but man is the real monster. I mean, like spoopy insects like wasps. Wasps aren't spooky. Wasps are nice, or at least nicer than people make them out to be. They're fairly chill. Yeah, that's because everything is like that in Florida, Paul. That's that's not wasps. That's Florida. We've got bunnies and armadillos. Well, those are agents from outside. Well, when was that sent? That was I I may have only just gotten um I may have only just gotten the Don's assessment of my appearance. Also, I want to shank whoever decided it was a good idea to weaponize mosquitoes and then drop them over populated areas. Oh, I mean that sounds like well that sounds like there would be a name behind that. Uh, that's the thing America actually did to Americans. Like Americans and Americans. You Americans sure are a contentious bunch. You've just made an enemy for life. But yeah, that sounds like there'd be a name attached to that. Like I said, there is someone who could receive that. There are so many tests the government have done on this and no one blinked. I mean, I expect that's at least partly because a lot of people aren't aware of it. Actually, you know what, Don? I'm going to I'm going to bring that one to people's attention. Just give me a sec, folks. I need to put this somewhere. Okay, there's that. Yeah, true. Either way, it feels even less ethical to test potential weapons on your own citizens. I mean, it's no more ethical to be testing it on other people's citizens. It's because then that's that because if that is considered more ethical, that is just dehumanizing other people, and we don't do that here. Okay. Okay. Just wanna. I feel this one's is just important to bring to people's attention. Like, oh dear, that was weird. My entire overlay slid. I just want to bring this to people's attention. Midoriya gets it. I'm just gonna shrink that down and leave that here for a little bit. I wonder if I can. Now there's a space under you, and that's slightly bothering me. No, that was that little line down there. That's always been there. That's the that's the base of the window. That's not new. Don, please stop. Please stop sending me these things. You are giving the brain rot. And I already have such little brain in it to begin with. Bring that back up, otherwise I'll lose things again. Me channel theme. The thing is, Don, that doesn't actually work because I've never owned a Nintendo console besides the DS, and that was only for a couple of games. I think it was that Squad Command Warhammer one, and not sure what else. It may have just been to play Star Fox multiplayer while I was on trips when I was younger. Now, if you'd heard it, it makes sense. That's the thing. I haven't heard it. I have no idea what that tune is. Okay. Oh, I knew I'd forgotten this section up here. And for what it's worth, I know this is not quite a full black bodysuit, but it works better than going actual black because actual black there is no shading. this gives us at least a little room to darken it, and plenty of room to lighten it. Yeah. Thanks to stuff I heard about earlier as well, I have downloaded Krita to see if that's any better at giving me cleaner lines than Photoshop has the habit of doing. So I may be experimenting with that at some point. More little bit here. And there. Seem to have left lots of little things there. Oh, I think the next piece I've got to work on is a dynamic image. Or at least that's the plan. Okay. Okay. Body gloves sorted. Skin is blue. Let's go with it. Let's get the skin out of the way next. Is my thing shifting? There's a little bit of migration on the OBS going on. Okay, 6699CC is a good start, but that's too. That seems too blue. So let's go. Let's try this. That still seems too blue. That's too grey. There is no middle ground, apparently. No, that just looks like paint. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit of input full. I've got a few bluish greys here, and it feels like one of these two here would be the ones that make the most sense. But which do you think suits what you have in your head? Mhm. Lighter shade of 1. See what that looks like. The thing with that is that starts becoming 3 or 4. Okay, that's about what suits. I'll go with that. Well, I've mumbled on about myself a bit. How's everyone else doing? How's everyone in chat? And any lurkers if there are those wishing to contribute. Doing good, trying to make a femboy. Well, you've seen my accidental forays into that earlier. Suppose you're putting I suppose you're putting Dizzy into Dragon's Dogma then. He's going to be the pawn, not the PC. I don't know the difference. I've not played Dragon's Dogma. Back in the line, sir. Custom NPC, okay. When you see your custom character in the cutscene. Basically, they'll follow you around, point out things, and help you in battle. Okay, so, Dizzy doing a part-time as a help desk. I can't imagine Dragon's Dogma has as much room for his shape, though. As, You'd be surprised. I welcome being surprised. That boy has some cake on him. Just again, Midoriya knows. Well, you can't get crazy into any big shapes. There is a body customization system, so you can get close enough. Okay, yeah, I figured Dragon's Dogma might have just been. I don't know if there's a new one out. I thought there was a possibility that it might have just been, old enough that it wasn't necessarily as well prepared for customization like that. Making a new one, okay. Could be something to check out. It was just a thing that kind of flew over my head when it was around, more prevalently anyway. It does seem to pop up now and again as things people were a fan of, and they did that whole thing with that kind of average-looking Netflix adaptation of it. A lot of the customization is basically Frankensteining stuff together rather than sliders, but you can make adjustments. Yeah, I watched one episode of that, and that one episode seemed the whole the setup episode seemed to be okay on its own, but after that I very quickly lost interest. It was all pretty straightforward as to the vibe they were going for. They made everything in it far more generic than the games. it's weird as well because like we've had some like it came like the anime came out of um yeah, at least the seven episode one or whatever it was that I saw came out around the time when we were starting to get good video game animated adaptations. And they just kind of scuffed it really. Whoever made the anime liked Goblin Slayer too much. That is, yeah, I could see that. It's like because Goblin Slayer is cool, and I'm sure there are a few that are sure there's what's that? Hair? I'm not sure what that line was for. Yeah, the Goblin Slayer is the kind of series that Goblin Slayer is the kind of series that attracts it's got the same to me it's got the same kind of pitfall as Rick and Morty in that there are some that on its own it's fine, but there are some quite intense fans. Just go straight over these for now. Put the white back in later. I think weirdos isn't the best term to use because weirdos describes a lot of people. I mean, me. I'd say misguided is more appropriate. It's the like it's a kind of obsession slash hyper focus slash over enthusiasm, and it's kind of just unfortunate because a lot of the time people do just really like these things, but it's the hyper focus that ends up kind of shoehorning it into too much else, to making yourself too defined by it, and and that's purely speaking on the people who just get too into something. I'm not going to approach the groups that use it to try and make statements on society. But yeah, do yourself a favor and get the Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen release. It's one of the best fantasy games, and it's so far the opposite of handholdy. So I get the thinking that people are going with that, but I've noticed when people say a game doesn't hold your hand, they mean it has that they'll often use that as meaning, or they'll often say that, and the game will in fact be obtuse and hard to navigate. It's like games should hold your hand, but they just need to. Or games can hold your hand. They just need to be sensible about how they do it. Like there are lots of things games can do to guide you in more diegetic ways, I think the word is. The in world ways rather than uh rather than the here is the quest marker all the time things. But Yeah, these a lot of the time I've heard doesn't hold your hand to mean you don't get much direction and you should be happy that the game lets you play it at all, kind of vibe. But I will make a note. It's not that hands off, plenty in quests and such that will give you a mark to follow, but there is stuff that can be easily missed. Maybe, maybe not. It could be interesting. It's that kind of thing that it can be fine. Execution can be tricky. So I guess the obvious thing is play it and see, but because I don't want to be just passing judgment on a game I, by my own professing, know very little about. It's yeah, there's certain terminology that needs to be used. It's how would you describe it? Because I think I know what you're getting at. Don't get me wrong. I have an idea of like what you're trying to convey, and if I'm right about that assessment, then sure, it's something for me to consider giving a try. And who knows, I could maybe play it on stream and let everyone backseat me to buggery. That sounded lewd. There is a lot of back-to-back seat. It's a dark fantasy open world with some interesting systems. At least I suppose it's worth me admitting that there is also the other side of this whole thing where more quirky design systems can really catch interest. Like, I'm one of the people who is a fair fan of the first Dark Souls, and at least the ideas and things like Demon Souls. Um, I see why a lot of some of those quirks just didn't make it into later games, but I also disagree with some of them, with why some of them didn't make it in. Like having strange enigmatic systems that you can actually that you can still learn about in game. That turns into and you can thus learn to use them. That turns into a system mastery thing, and that I love that. I love it when you can learn how a game operates and thus learn to control it, so to speak. Says quirky and more systems that make sense. Like there's some insulation, then some simulation aspects, like being wet matters. Oh my! And stuff way more when you're wet, and certain attacks will do more. Yeah, I got what you were going for. I just the pun was the joke was there. Yes, doesn't seem. Okay. Oh no no no. And healing isn't as simple as a spell, since that can only go so far. Mm. So is there a more complex magic system? Because again, that's something that could be very interesting, or could just be a pain, like a lot of what cyberpunk TTRPGs do with their tech systems and the oddly unnecessary numbers. I still don't entirely follow. I still don't entirely get Shadowrun's magic system. Mm. Somewhat, the magic system is fairly simple like ducks. Yeah. Yeah. For your you're getting blocked by the auto mod again. It's safest to just be to not swear too much. That tends to be what sets it off. Like I said, I'll let it through at the moment because I know what you're. I know you're not being. I know you're not doing it to be a dick, but uh, I am trying, even though it's not exactly necessary. I'm trying to avoid swearing too much myself while I do this. Anyway, hybrid classes also tend to channel their magic differently, like the Arcane Archer uses all sorts of magic arrows with varying effects. Who knows? Maybe I can. Who knows? Maybe maybe I should put playing that game as a follower goal, follower motivation. If I get to 50, play it on stream kind of thing. The magic fighter uses their shield for self-support and long-range options. It's worth having someone to bestow buffs, boons, since certain enemies are weak to certain spells, and fire does burn good. That's just straightforward. That's just straightforward RPG stuff, to be fair. Just having a solid system for how spells interact with certain creatures. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, but when I say particularly good, it's like how Dark Souls had certain enemies actually flail when hit by their weakness. I mean, if it is a solidly built system, then I'm sure I will at least find some entertainment with it. What am I thinking? There we go. That's the one I was trying to bring up. Okay. Getting pings. Okay, well, as I said, all I can really say for now is I'll see. Give it a try. Same time, the game can be a bit more painful than Dark Souls, less because of high damage and BS, and more through general creative design choices. Except petrification. Keep in mind, while it's not Dark Souls hard, there's still a few boss level enemies who can end the fight quickly if unprepared. Very much a game that rewards prep, a little bit Witcher in that sense. Then Witcher on the higher difficulties where you need to actually play more like a Witcher and prep before your fights with oils and such. I'm still upset that The Witcher 3, the only way to get all of the oils is that you have to kill certain harmless monsters as well. Like I don't have the achievement for that because of I think it's a rock troll and the changeling doppelgangers that I don't have oils for. And the pawn system does let you have a party to also cover your weakness. Yeah, again, that's just building up a decent. That's just building up TTRPG mechanics. I really should just do this and hope it works. Okay. Select expand by just the 1 pixel, thank you. Back to here. Let's save some time. But either way, I'll like it unless you want to spoil if the actual dragon arisen relationship. I'll stop here. Yeah, leave it for now. I may go the route of making it the 50 follower motivation or something. So it's a better idea than a giveaway, that's for sure. So this fill trick to get most of the color in was helpful, but it does still leave these annoying little patches to fill in. It's just kind of aggravating, even if it is much less work. And I am aware that it's that halfway down it changes color, but it's easier to put all one color in for now. Sometimes you just want a bucket and be done. Yeah, kinda. This isn't really one of those situations where it's possible because of all the little nooks and crannies. And even on larger forms like the body, you still end up with little bits and pieces left there. Mm-hmm. Also, I've shown this sketch to a few people in IRL as well, and the tail is just universally appreciated. Everyone seems to like how it came out. Yeah, people seem really to be quite fond of this design. They don't know who drew it, of course. They don't tell anyone about that. But almost done. Oh, it's almost done with this part of the colouring anyway. I must end my attempts to fanboy in this game. I will check in just a second. Yeah, that looks to be doing a fairly good job. Hey, Skipper. How's it going? While I have it, we want crimsons. So see if this works. It's a decent color. Seems too bright for me. Yeah, that's. I say like that didn't seem quite too red. How's that? How's that? That seems better to me. Yeah, that's more what I was thinking, but the color code for Scarlet just didn't agree for whatever reason. Right, so we want to go down to about this curve before it starts to fade out. Now, drop the hardness to nothing, opacity to low. And we do then we do this for a little bit, basically. Yeah, they kind of are. There's definitely an easier way for me to do this. I'm just trying to get used to the idea of doing it with by hand. Get that actually there. Okay. That seems smooth to me. Smooth enough anyway. And I suppose I can make it a little bit cleaner just by blurring these sections. $175. Oh, my Photoshop is freezing. 175.3 centimeters. That's what? That's about 5'9", 5'9". If memory serves, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, 182 is roughly 6 feet, so. Sorry, Skipper, I got a little distracted with color gradients there. I have a bit of a headache, but I'm doing okay. As you can see, Midoriya is joining us for this stream. Musa brought him to my attention. Oh, damn. Oh, we need to put the opacity back up for 100 to quickly grab that streak that I missed. uh, Skipper has not seen My Hero Academia, apparently. Took me a couple of years to decide to watch it. I kind of went the opposite direction. I started watching it. I watched it for a little while and then stopped. Need a brighter cut. Oh, no, not. No. There we go. Getting the scarlet on these. Yes, Midoriya is only here to speak a well-known truth. Darkening the end of the tail, so about this last kind of foot, I guess. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Just when I get there from these. Make it a dark blood red like on TV. I'll see what I can come up with. We're already fairly dark in the reds with this, but where it almost looks black. Might not work as well as you hope, but let's see. Or it might, we'll see. Yeah, that kind of... I messed that up a little. Yeah, that's nice. Pretty easy to vibe with gradients. I guess it works, yeah. Now I head back down and do the same with the tips on this. Going to follow the line out on this one. This is just a thorn where it'll be a little bit difficult to get otherwise. 170 centimeters and kind of thick has been achieved. Is kind of thick the best that was on offer? Because I gotta say this. I gotta say if kind of thick is the only option, this game is not selling me on it. Just wish I could thin the neck. It's wider than shoulders at the hip area. Okay, so it's at least some of the way there. Another one where I should probably do that and then add that because it's still opacity locked anyway. At least this game does proper realism like Witcher does. In what way? As in, like, just range of shapes? Okay. Man, it is a pity that CD Projekt Red started going kind of off the rails too. I liked them for a while. Also in the sense that stuff can suck, but it's not as hopeless as false realism. Yeah, the misery, just the misery voyeurism, not not fun. I I say running the dens in Immortalitas. For I'm actually really looking forward to 2077's DLC, not only because of more to do, but they're also going to overhaul their systems for free. Let's hope so. Let's hope though. Let's hope the overhauls, or I hope that the overhauls are worth it. Might be good. Might be something good to come back to. Oh, right, I missed a little section down here. When you said 170 centimeters and kind of thick had been achieved, I honestly thought you were talking about Briar for a second. Considering how sharp that tail is, non-zero chance of Thorn or 2 has definitely caused small tears to show a little more. You say that, but at the same time, it's actually the tail is actually pretty safe from Briar's perspective because all of the thorns are generally pointing away from the body. So when she's moving, it's trailing behind and it's not getting caught on things. Oh, no, come back to that in a second. Right, putting it on. Yeah, I guess. Having to thread it through all of that, geez. Oh, I forgot to put that on. That'd have to be the last thing or the first thing in. I mean, it'd have to be the middle if it's a single piece bodysuit, because you'd start with the legs and then like bring it up to the hips, and then that's when the tail will be going in. I mean, I should know. Mine is not short. and it is most certainly thick. There we go. Just making the red on those tips stand out a bit more. Yeah, oh, down here again. Tiefling tails should be prehensile exclusively, so clothes aren't difficult, or just skirts. Funny thing, I don't know how it is in second edition, but Pathfinder first edition, that is there is a feature for that, so you can use them to retrieve objects. You can't fight with them, but you can use them. You can use them to get things out of packs. I think as a free action or something. It's not a given, but it is an option. Briar's Tower should count as a swift action as a racial option. Okay, Briar's Tower should count as a whip. Yeah, that'd be. I think we talked about that at some point, didn't we? The idea that that her tail would be a natural attack of some kind, which is unfortunately not an option. It's a standard. Many tieflings have tails, but some have long, flexible tails that can be used to carry items. While they cannot wield weapons with their tails, they can use them to retrieve small stowed objects carried on their persons as a swift action and replaces fiendish sorcery. And basically, if you are playing a tiefling and you're not using and you're not going a sorcerer, it's pretty much always worth replacing fiendish sorcery with the tail, because if you don't have something else in mind, because otherwise it's just a feature that you have that you're not not benefiting from at all. I think honestly, fiendish sorcery is kind of a stupid trait to burst, because it's like tieflings get a natural penalty to charisma, but you get a bonus as a sorcerer to make it even out again. Is there another fly in here? No, there isn't. At this point, I'm not sure if the buzzing in my ear is simply the bones of the earth shifting, or if it's tinnitus, or a fly. Carefully slide up to the tip there. Okay. Oh dear. There's my no. No. Okay. Okay. My overlay was doing some strange things. Black thorn-like horns, and the seventh sits at the center. All right. Back to the dark colors. Another little patch of line art that stuck around for some reason. The Dorito hair. no, that started well and then went wrong. I just like it when horns are shapely. We have different ideas of shapely horns then. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more. So I should be able to do some kind of masterclass on shapely horns soon. That's the horns. Coming close to completing the base colors. Now we need that sandy blonde. Doesn't seem right. That probably good time to mention there's no music coming through. Oh, whoops. Yes, I hadn't actually started it, so in fact, oh, there we go. That's where it's. Odd. Well, even when it was. Okay, let's go with. Let's put some synthwave on. 1 second, I will mess around with the audio a little. Okay, there we go, music. For some reason, Soundstripe hadn't even properly loaded on the stream for some reason, so it needed it. Speaking of funny things, I remembered a bit of Dragon's Dogma trivia. Because it's Capcom, the original menu music in the original release was some Japanese pop song. Because they never renewed the rights for the Dark Arisen re-release, they replaced it with OST. That reminds me of what's happened with apparently the Resident Evil soundtrack, where the original was absolutely scuffed in the original release for certain areas. Might be the pink Yeah, but that looks green. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about it too. It's definitely not. I think it might be the pink. Let's see if let me change that back to white. See if that helps, because it's looking a little odd to me too. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. I only had the pink there because it helps with it can help with color differentiation with finding where I've missed bits on the. I use that to find where I've made where I've filled color in and missed little bits in the line art. It's like that trick of using hydrogen to find leaks in things. I remember that pairing certain colors can cause tricks. The eye is so glad I mentioned it. Yeah, I figured it was probably fine because it looked fine in the little swatch on the side. Also, keep in mind, you will have to bear with me on the shading. I still don't fully understand it. It still often messes with me. But this should be but I have been getting better, and I've gotten a bit more experience drawing drawing things that come as a result of body shapes. So. And I know the hair changes color at the cherries, but same principle as with the tail. I will get this here and then move on to it. Because of games and shorts on YouTube, I've learned how far makeup can go. Yeah, you can do quite a lot with it. I was very impressed in it because it's not a character that's ever been an interest to me, but I was very impressed by, I think it was by someone who did a thing where they essentially turned themselves into Betty Boop. And it was kind of impressive how they turned themselves into a caricature character that is just so far removed from anything even human looking. There are some very talented people out there, and I hope to one day join them. To this day, certain characters just look leagues better with just some eyeshadow. Yeah. Well, that's the point. Once I've done the hair, I think I need to put lashes on her. Somehow, I also realised I made my character look like a femboy tomboy. Congratulations? I don't know how I did this. I don't know how you did this. But as I say, all I can say is congratulations. Speaking of makeup and the like, do you have a preference for nail color? Because we can keep the red theme going with them. I feel like this was meant to be this, but let me get rid of that line. I'm thinking we make them the bright red that we've got on these. Gives the points on her a certain uniformity or a certain theme to them. Could do a gradient bright base dark tip. Oh god. Full be like whoops all gradients. So yes, Fizzy has multiple gradients. So yes, you are whoops all gradients. I may choose the easy way out this time though. Like there is a gradient tool, it just wouldn't work with certain areas. It might work. It should work fine on nails. Any Briar law you want to know? Well, by all means, just feel free to start. Feel free to just start lore dumping. It's while I paint. No, wrong way around. These will be something like that. So they'll both be mostly dark already. This one, oh, this needs a little bit more work first. Plus, where is it? Where's the tool? There it is. This again, and now the final two. Formerly a life cleric who would give her life to the clergy only for some unforeseen circumstance, either either the betrayal or the true nature of her god, would fall into a deep, deep despair. When you started saying like give her life to the clergy, I was already thinking like the clergy was giving nothing back, essentially. Yeah, but that's also true IRL in certain groups. I mean, yeah, but, I won't get. Let's not get. Let's not bother getting too religious. Uh, to into real world religions here. We're bound to just annoy someone. Okay, that flower sky just isn't going to be showing up. And now we have. Let's keep this bright red so we can do the berries. Or do we go for more? I think more of the tails red would be just a little bit darker. Plus perhaps a little gloss patch on each one. Anyway, once she started hearing the calls of the Blackthorn Grove, she'd eventually make her way to it, and as is custom, offer her heart to it in exchange would force her out of the despair and give her new purpose. Yeah, funny enough, some of the people, a couple of the people that I showed it to definitely remarked that there was something sinister about her. Makes sense that that is the vibe of anything Coffs related except for one guy. Again, very loose memories of the actual contents of Kofta, so I can't really remember very clearly what. But yes, it did. The whole thing did seem to be generally moody and sinister. It is definitely your. It is definitely your thing. There we go. Just giving a little bit of extra shape to the eyes. That's all. Okay, eyes are pink and green. Oh boy. Hmm. Pink base, green lines. Okay. And remind me, like, so this line I put in here just to give a general sense of where she's looking. This can't be seen if I'm not mistaken. It's because you say there's no visible pupil. Yeah, your description has no. Your description says no visible pupil. Well, because yeah, I suppose the pupil is kind of right in the center, but Well, if you say the eyes are pink and green, and the whole thing is pink with some green lines, the it's generally there is generally one color here and one color here, and then the center. Just don't mind me, just sudden fury. Ow. Okay. Looking for kind of this color for these. Anyway. Of course, the white bits on the normal flag are to be red. Okay. I was just going to be going with the normal colors, but I can do that. Speaking of which, missed a little bit of black just there. Okay, you know what? Oh. Just clearing up this mess that I apparently made earlier. Good here. Scrub. What I reckon I'll do is I'll put, because it's all going to be pink initially at the start anyway. I may put the white in because that'll provide another little bit of color variation, and we can change it to red before I go on to shading if it doesn't look right, or if you'd prefer it in the end. It's hardly a big change. I see a thorn I missed. Oh, I do appreciate the vibrancy of this character though, because there are a lot of bright colors, and it is fun to color in. Okay, now let's put the white in. Oh, wrong opacity. Now let's see what happens if I put them. Which do you think? Which do you think feels right? I'm actually having a hard time deciding myself. Because I feel like in the end the white is a distinct color, because there's a lot of red going on already. Uh, implying that those show spell slots in Arcanum when a lot of the Arcanum don't have limitations on them, and you only get 4 spell slots. Hang on a second. Let me. Something like that, maybe, because the white going against the white background kind of it makes that white bleed away a little, but putting it like that and that kind of staggered pattern. Okay, now this flower. And this one's going to be a bit harder because I have to try and find a certain shade of purple. I think that one. Mm. Plus a slightly pale tinted red. A little bit darker than that, actually. I think something like that. Let's put this in first. And another cool thing is that if we once this is done, because this is the one where I'll have all the footage, I unfortunately lost the first part of Giselle's stream, I'll be able to make this into a little speed paint thing. Yeah, just throw it into an editing thing, speed it up, put some royalty-free music over it, and let it rip. God, I'm a fraud. I'm a fairy that can't draw flowers very well. I suppose it's better than the ones I did for Maketra. And she had like 10 different flowers on her, plus about 4 or 5 different types of leaf. That's dryads for you. And of course she had one of my blue roses. Right, now I want to select this, go over to this, and this is where we start to get a little more delicate. And this will look a little bit funky until I get to shading as well. In Florida summers, when it rains, it can potentially rain for days. Is it currently starting that, or? Just now started back up. Raining since I woke up. Just now started back up. Yeah, we could do with a little bit of rain here, but we already get days and days of it, so. But I suppose Florida, you're living in the hurricane corridor, so. Not quite there yet. Then we've got these little orange nubs. That'll still look best if they are just allowed to stay as they are. More flowers, yes. Well, only a couple, to be fair. As I say, it's still not the most I've had to do on a character. And bring back that. Oh no, that went bad. Pardon me, I had to pause for a coughing fit just then. But as I understand, this is a warlock of the Blackthorn Grove. In this case, a cleric who was who, for one reason or another, was given cause to abandon the faith through despair of it. Mm. See, I'm learning. Okay, any other? Okay, more. Back to the description. So, 6 black thorns, pink and green. Patterns similar to dragon fruits. Surrounding the eyes of the dark red mascara and eyeliner. I'll do that last. Okay. Yeah, the cuffs thing where Fallen Rose both made plant people because they're weirdos. I wouldn't say any weirder than insect people. Than insect stuff. Besides, plant people can be plenty interesting. Let's grab this and darken it. Mm. Plenty of dryads. I would definitely say dryads are quite weird at the best of times, and they work for me. That said, we have. That said, it has come up before that Demi tends to have some fairly strong opinions on these things, and as long as they don't get too out of control and start to offend the Fae, it's okay. Okay, now let's see if I can figure out a pattern here that'll work. So it's actually like this kind of thing, the ever so slightly reddish tint to it, if we're going with dragon fruit colours. I like dryads, but they're weird. I mean, in a game, Demi is practically married to a dryad. Well, that's lovely to hear. Need a smaller brush still. Are we looking at something like that for the eyes for? Just so I understand what I'm looking at, because I'm trying to interpret the description, and I may be failing. Okay. So, well, yeah, I wanted to. So what my thinking was, I wanted to give at least some vague impression of the center of the eye without giving an actual center, so to speak. Oh God. Might redo these ones just a tad. No, need to get the pink back. There we go. Yeah, I think looking at a dragon fruit from the side was what I was thinking when the whole eye was meant to be that kind of color. But if it's with just that, then okay, let's take a quick glance over. Oh, hooves. A little bit left. A little bit left, and then we can start on the shading. Slightly more tint. I think that Going for, yeah, for a slightly off, for a slightly different color that's a little more natural, just because we have a lot of black in this image already. Cleaning things make me sad. Lost. I am sorry to hear that. We'll try and not keep the mood too sad, but yes, that is unfortunate to hear. All right. On a brighter note, you're tired. What a joy. Okay, I think, unless I am missing something, we can shade. So let's grab myself a shading in the brightness layer. Actually, better way for me to do this. I duplicate the color layer first. Then I select everything that isn't it. Now this one will be the shading, so I'm going to do is get an entire white sheet here. There, put it back on. It'll currently show up as white, but then I put it into a multiply. Oh. Oh god, even my scroll wheel's messing up now. Right, there we go. Okay, so that is the color. That is the shading layer sorted. Then I do the same with this. Only I want to make it only black 50%. Should see an immediate change there, but then I turn that to leave soft light. Does that? Yes. Okay. Okay, so what I was doing just there was just setting up a couple of easy ways to make sure I don't accidentally start shading the background. Since now I can only shade on here, and same with the brightness. I can only darken or lighten the character. Now, we want about half brightness for this, and fairly low opacity, as I've found out. About 6 to 8%. And this is shading. So let's get start here. This is how I did the most recent piece I was doing, so no, that bit doesn't work in the middle there. Get that back out. I'm going to darken the actual tint that I'm using just a tad. Even bigger brush. Need to remove some of that actually. No, that was. Oh, right, because it's opacity locked. I have to do that first. And we'll have a row along here. too much. To be going to be a sheet of the sheet down the front here. Of how the leg is bent. And back to the rest of the body. Actually, let's go with along here. That didn't change much there. Might have to not do too much shading on the tail. So left side gets reintroduced over to here. It's more gentle shading, and I think on these bits of tail it doesn't show up very well if I try and go too strong on it. And just here. I should make sure I'm set up for things after this, because I do have something on pretty much directly when the stream is set to end. But if I'm near the shading, if I get most of the way through the shading, I'm inclined to try and finish it off at the time. Oh, forgot to put the. That's the thing. I forgot to put the eyeliner in. DJ Rock Bongo. That feels like it's in response to the music, and I kind of dig it. let's... No, that didn't. Let's grab the original. Can't hear it. Hmm. Hmm. God, terrible, terrible eraser there. Then I'm mostly listening for zombies. Ah, yes. Have to make sure they don't creep up on you. Perhaps the music is only for the Fae today. Okay, let's get a slightly, ever so slightly lighter tone. Go up a layer like that. Oh, no, down a layer, actually. I need it there. Playing 7 days with Fat right now until my mods for Deep Rock Galactic get updated. Don't have the best hearing anyway. Marvel fucked up again and made their opening for Secret Wars completely AI generated. Oof. Full question. The eyeliner and mascara, I'm currently looking at something like this, but I'm wondering if just the eyeliner looks better. Or if, say, just that, for example. Well, let me try putting a... as in you were thinking just like that. Sorry. Just the eyeliner at the top and the mascara at the bottom. Okay. I was playing with a couple of ideas and none of it was quite sticking otherwise. I'm just going to quickly do this, and then just to remove just the edge there. So lightning spooked the shit out of me and shook the house. Ooh. Okay, that's that little bit of that little last minute alteration taken care of. Back to the shading. Yeah, if I disappear, you've been abducted. If you disappear, you've been abducted by Zeus. I understand. Just real quick. Oh, no, not quite. Yeah. Shrink the brush. These fingers. Yeah. Let's be fair, the music is kind of meant to be, unfortunately, Zeus. Just Greek mythology in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. I think we'll get. I think we'll get this. We might overrun just a little. But well, my GM will probably take a few minutes to at least be walking back as well. So large brush. Extend this shading just a little to be more over there. Get these heels done. Now let's see. Oh yes, the flower just here. Pin for that. Okay, then. Let's go darker with you. Smaller, and the opacity can stay the same. Oh dear. Oh, that's going to be irritating later. There is a midge of some kind in here. Shading all the way over to this because that leaf stretches out quite a bit. Now, I guess onto the brightness. I usually go full white for this because it's easier, along with harder brush, smaller. A moth has come to say hello. And contrary to my wishes, I may have just been bitten. Certainly feels like it anyway. My elbow's itching. I believe these had light patches across the top here. Now lighting over these. Back down to low opacity. And a soft brush. A larger one actually, and once again a little bit higher on that opacity to get this stuff in. Because there are some this is very artsy music to be doing this to. Oh, come on. Give it a few seconds for Photoshop to unfreeze itself. There we go. shading, darken, little bits tucked under the knee just there. And now, that's what I need to do. I need to get this relatively small brush, medium hardness, and this. Then I should just be able to erase these. And I may just blur it a little. And I think we may be finishing just on time. What do you think, Fool? I'm kind of pleased with how that pattern on the torso came out. Yes. Okay. I think we can. Yeah, I think we can call this done. There might, if there are any little other tweaks and such, I can make those I can make those after. But I think Briar is, for the most part, finished. So I'm going to real quick. Well, first I'm going to pause that. First I'm going to stop the music. We can chill with the synthwave now, and I'm going to try and find someone to raid us out with quickly. Twitch. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's I'm going to send us to Pinuke. Another VTuber with a style of them being they have a kind of dating sim succubus kind of vibe going on that's quite cool. Lots of like slightly more kind of early 2000s vibe that's just kind of a neat thing. But yes, so otherwise, thanks to everyone who came to watch this. I'm glad we managed to get this done or mostly there. Might be bits of shading, who knows. I'm still ever in the learning process, and it was very fun drawing Briar. Especially that tail. God, we love that tail. Next stream is on Friday. It's going to start an hour later than usual, as per my schedule. Saturday's stream will be the usual time, continuing on with the Surge. Fridays is art again. Things might be a little tweaked come Monday. We'll just have to wait and see. Yes, thanks everyone for attending, and let's the raid going in a few seconds. I I was going to try Ocean Axe again, but I've raided them a couple of times in the past few days, and I don't want to start making things awkward. So, see you Friday.